Cheaters of Reddit, how did the work from home situation affected the affair you were having? One of my staff found out her husband was having an affair at the beginning of lockdown. While we were waiting for IT equipment, we had staff log onto the system using their own devices, and her husband had saved a hotel booking confirmation to the desktop of a laptop she hadn't used for a while. Idiot. So what happened next? Edit. Thanks random Redditor for my first award. It's not great. He was very sorry and didn't want to lose her, promising her the earth, and then the other woman started turning up at the house demanding to see him and wanting to tell her all sorts of tales about what they got up to and shouting at her for standing in the way of true love, etc. She took an overdose not long after and was in hospital for a bit, then moved in with her parents, and we think the other woman had moved in but don't know for certain. When offices were allowed to open again, our company decided they would only be for absolutely essential on-site work, so I had to negotiate with the director for her to be allowed to work in the office a couple times a week, as WFH full-time really wasn't good for her. I just want to say thank you for being an awesome boss and allowing her the time and flexibility to deal with that awful situation. A lot of bosses would not have given a crap. My ex-boss would be in that camp. So thank you and keep up the good work of caring about your employees. Holy crap, that's awful. I feel so sorry for her. May her ex-husband and his mistress step on Lego pieces barefoot for the rest of their days. That's a good curse. I've heard a few stories of people getting caught due to the fact that constant texting became real obvious. One case of someone getting caught for inviting people from a dating app over to the house while everyone else was out working. Personally, I have no idea how people find the time to have a job and 2 relationships. Just ridiculous. I have 1 job and 1 relationship. The admin for those is already ridiculous. I can't possibly remember another birthday, let alone remember secrets. For real though. I watched one of those cheating shows way back, and I remember one dude that had like 10 girlfriends along with his wife. And he had a job too. Forget the sex for a second. How are you with all these women at the same damn time? How do you even keep them happy? How are you even awake right now? You just did a 10-hour shift before they caught you. I know you got to be tired. My ex-husband had a wife, obviously, a long-term girlfriend that was also a co-worker, and then several short-term girlfriends that would come and go. He found the time by having sex with his girlfriend at work, telling me he had to work and not going to work, and telling his long-term girlfriend that he was with me when he was with his short-term girlfriends. The only one that knew he was a cheater was his long-term girlfriend, and she apparently got very upset with him anytime he cheated on her with the short-term girlfriends. I found out about the whole thing when his long-term girlfriend confronted a short-term girlfriend and let it slip he was married too. So the short-term girlfriend contacted me to tell me what a piece of crap my husband was and to tell me she was sorry. I cannot fathom why someone would voluntarily sign up for all of that stress. That's a lot of crap to juggle. That's legit terrible, and I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Thanks. It's all good though. I'm just really grateful to the girl that told me what was going on. I had been married for like 12 years at that point, and it could have been years and years before I found out. She was really shocked that I was nice to her. She thought that I was going to scream at her and call her names. It wasn't her fault. My ex-husband was a sociopath. Are you my sister? Because that's my ex-brother-in-law to a T. I think there are quite a few of them out there, unfortunately. Way too many garbage people out there. I work 9 hours out of a day. I sleep for 6 to 8. I have 5 to 7 of free time. If my wife doesn't get to at least spend 6 of those free hours in my presence, she starts complaining we don't spend enough time together. I genuinely don't understand where these bastards find the time. Right? I want to do the opposite of cheat. I want to sneak out and so I can go hang out with myself in secret. My girlfriend probably thinks I'm cheating or escaping to text someone else when I'm actually just lying in the bath for an hour at 1 a.m., no water, just lying down. Really, I'm just trying to get some alone time since we are cooped up in one room 24 hours a day at the moment. No space due to living situation, and it's pretty tough, so I just take some alone time in the bathroom. Last year, Jaguar Land Rover had to shed 4,500 employees to reduce their mounting debts. They did this by offering a fat voluntary redundancy package, I mean, this thing was gold-plated. If you'd worked there for over 20 years, you were being given almost £40,000 to walk away, and the guys within 10 years of retirement were going for it. Apart from one fella. See, he had a testing job at Millbrook, so one week he was in Warwick, and the next at Millbrook, and alternated every week. He'd been in that role since forever, and had a wife and kids in Warwick, and also had cultivated a long-term girlfriend and even had kids near Millbrook. Neither knew about the other, and he was telling both families that he was away with work on the alternating weeks. The guy had kept this up for 15 years plus, and I cannot imagine the deceit gymnastics his brain would have to do to keep the lies going. One day he said that he's not looking forwards to retiring, as both women will obviously be expecting him to retire to them, his one family, so that was his deadline. So this VR package comes around and he has to decline a tax-free lump sum and the ability to retire early, because he cannot get out of this mess he's in. I left at this time, but he stayed, and must have thought he got a stay of execution, but from what colleagues have said is that when lockdown came into effect and he was furloughed, he got found out anyway, and is now being sued and divorced by both women, as well as missing out all that lovely cash. I have no sympathy for him. Wow. I fully despise him for the lives he will end up ruining. But also, that's actually pretty incredible he was able to do that. I want to know so much more about his life. Did he travel? Which family did he take? Did he have 2 social media accounts? What about the kids' extracurricular activities on weekends? How did he afford 2 homes and 2 families? Who did he spend long weekends with? What a stressful life he must have lived. To reiterate though, he effing sucks. I got the impression he sucked as a partner/dad to both lots, as he couldn't/wouldn't do holidays, childcare when a partner was sick, was perceived as a miser with cash as he was supporting both households, kept refusing to marry the second woman, dealt with Christmases by intentionally having an argument so he could storm out for a couple of days, or saying he had critical testing work to do, despite him having to make out it's a low-paying job as he was spreading the money 2 ways, etc. etc. I genuinely didn't envy him, as instead of having some best of both worlds type situation, he was instead barely present in either, and must have lived in constant fear of the truth coming out, but not so fearful he wouldn't let slip stuff at work, hence us all knowing about it. I come from a family wrecked by a cheating father, so I hate people like him, and if I'd have ever got an opportunity to tell his wife, I would have done. He's wasted everyone's lives. I'm just imagining the extraordinary amounts of energy this crap pile put into this. Rather than having fun hobbies or wonderful vacations, he chose lies, deceit, stress, and ultimately a ruined lives. I hope the women and kids can find happiness somehow. Tragic, really. All while he could easily have solved it by just being single and child-free and sleeping around to his heart's content. So stupid and in butthole. I never have understood these guys with secret families. I'm exhausted with the one set I've got. 2 mortgages, 2 lawns to mow, 2 houses to maintain, 2 honey-do lists to keep up with, 2 sets of in-laws to deal with. Jacques Cousteau had a secret family, a girlfriend and child he kept in France while his first wife and kids lived with him on the Calypso. Not me, but a friend was living with her partner through lockdown, thought he was going for long dog walks or to visit his mum. Turns out he was actually going to his pregnant girlfriend's house. Yikes, what happened after she found out? She found out because the pregnant girlfriend had tagged him in a photo on Instagram, which he didn't remove quickly enough. Pregnant girlfriend was unaware he was living with someone else also. He went down the route of "I never said we were exclusive." Anyway, my friend, the pregnant girlfriend, and this guy's ex-wife have been in contact with each other discussing the emotional trauma he's put them all through. Not sure if she's keeping the baby. Yikes indeed. Holy crap. This guy's spawned a support group. That literally puts him in the same category as cancer, child loss, and drug abuse. The pregnant girlfriend and this guy's ex-wife have been in contact with each other discussing the emotional trauma he's put them all through. OF. Getting 2 black Cadillacs vibes here. John Tucker must die. My neighbor got busted cheating on his Corona diet that he and his wife were doing. He'd go out for a run up to Little Caesars, eat a pizza and drink a soda, then come home sweaty and directly take a shower and brush his teeth to hide it from his wife, who was diligently doing her part in the diet. He was outed when restrictions relaxed around here and one of his teenagers spotting him coming out of the restaurant holding a bag. That story is cute considering what I asked for. Little Caesars is NSFW. Not safe for waistlines. His teenager sounds like a effing snitch, to be honest. Imagine, in 10 years, Dad eating LC will kill you. Dad croaks, and on the reading of the will the kid that narsed on him inherits, just enough for a medium pepperoni pizza and a pop. I know it's not the same, but I have wondered how the prevalence of Ring doorbells has affected cheaters. I was at work one day, the kids were at school and my wife was home alone. I got an alert from Ring that there was someone at my back door. Curious, I took a look to see who it was. I watched the video and saw a handsome, well-dressed man just walk into my house. Didn't ring the doorbell or anything, just walked in through the back door. My mind was racing. I had no reason to suspect my wife was cheating, but you never know. Then, to my relief, about a minute later he left. My wife called me right away. Turns out he was a real estate agent who was showing the house next door and he got the wrong address. He scared the crap out of my wife, she screamed at him, he apologized profusely and left. But for a minute there I thought something was up. As a retired realtor, I've accidentally walked into the wrong house before. Sorry on behalf of many realtors who have done that. She's playing the long con. Come in through the back door then. Always come in the back door if cheating. Listen buddy, around here we keep our entendres single. No wonder nobody wants to cheat with you. It's probably the biting. Username checks. Ow. What the F, man? You were clearly asking for it. It's called a backdoor man for a reason. I thought it was because he does butt stuff. It can be both, don't worry. A couple of months ago I was at a friend's for a small get-together. I am single and a straight guy and was one of two guys there. The other was dating one of the girls. Everybody else was a girl. The neighbor from across the street saw people and was bored, so she came over. Her husband was out of town. Long story short, we end up getting pretty drunk and out of nowhere she grabs me by the hand and said, "Come to my house with me." I can't say for sure what her intentions were, but she was flirting with me a ton, and the way she grabbed me and made me sneak away showed me she was probably trying to cheat on her husband. We never hooked up because my friends all rushed over and kind of flooded her house and made us both return to the party. I was very confused and drunk and not super happy about that. They told me the next day they knew she and her husband had a Ring doorbell and they didn't want him killing me or her for it, so they all went over as if it was a planned thing and she and I just happened to get there first. It sounds like you have amazing friends. Never let those kinds of friends slip away. Can't I have just a little bit of peril? No, it's too perilous. I don't know if any product in my lifetime, began 1981, has gone from "I have barely heard of this" to almost everyone has one faster than those cameras. I'm in Australia and literally no one I know has one. Hasn't caught on here yet. To be fair, porch piracy caught on before the doorbells. Is it common for people steal delivered packages left at your house down there? To be fair, porch piracy caught on before the doorbells. And that's where the old saying comes from, mother effers are the necessity of the invention. It just pushed my ex-wife to F my best friend at his house instead of ours. I remember me questioning her after I'd found used condoms in our bathroom bin and she said, "How do you expect me to cheat when there's cameras at the front and back of the house?" Didn't think anything of it at the time, but now I know what I know. She was just doing it at his or God knows where instead. Edit to clarify, so I did question her about the condoms and she told me they were ours and she had found them in our bedside drawer. I didn't think anything of it until she left me a few weeks later. I realized that when we moved to that house a few months earlier, I had emptied all the drawers so nothing was in them. We hadn't used condoms in a long while and we hadn't had sex since moving into our new house. A lot of little things she had said or done all pieced together. She asked what would happen to the house if we broke up. I didn't think anything of that at the time. There was also, "I'm going to help Adam buy a new sofa today, no you can't come." Just thought it was rude but never thought anything else. My dad had died the year before, so I was still in a bad place with that. I hadn't even considered my wife was cheating on me. To make matters worse, she blamed his death and my subsequent depression on her going to my ex-best friend for emotional support. Am I misunderstanding this? You found used condoms and you didn't think anything of it? Manipulative people can make otherwise smart people believe so. Real bullcrap. Also known as gaslighting. She travels with her used condoms. The best friend thing always chaps me when I hear about it. Like, there are several billion other humans to do the dirty with, but they have to make sure that when you're emotionally crushed, you have no one to turn to because, oh. I asked my garbage friend who was having an affair how she went around it, because I was outraged but I had to know, and she said she let him in through the side gate. My parents broke quarantine rules to have a family friend over and my mom ended up sleeping with him. Are you sure your parents aren't swingers? My first thought. My parents had a friend stay, in my head is code for they're all effing. Edit, because it was pointed out my sentences were a mess, which they were. Me and my wife have people staying over all the time, pre-2020 at least. We also have kids and I don't see it changing soon. Nothing sexual at all, just friends. Same here. I've known a lot of my friends since elementary school and we just never stopped having sleepovers. We are mid-late 30s. Yeah, exactly. Like crap, we are all drinking. No one's driving home drunk. No one wants a DUI and lose a good job. Lol. You sleep on the damn couch or the blow-up mat. And leave in the morning. Hell, I may even make breakfast. Holy crap. Rest of story please. Honestly, I don't think the guy wants to tell the story about his mom slept with someone and cheated on his dad. That being said, I'm intrigued. Yes. Holy effing crap. Wouldn't you like to know user I'm a terrible mother, Reddit link. Wouldn't you like to know weather boy? Shock and confusion, where are your parents? The entire family now sleep with a friend. Answering this on behalf of a friend, the lockdown seemed to make it easy for him to get out of the house. He would go on daily bike rides in the middle of that day and she, his coworker, would pick him up around the corner and they'd check in at a local hotel. All was great until the crap hit the fan. Could tell us part 2 of the story PLS. Spouses found out, one of them had hired a private detective. Then work found out and an investigation was launched during which both of the guilty parties lied despite it being obvious everyone knew what had gone down. Wife stood by the guy that I know. Don't know what happened on the woman's side as I don't know her well. That's an interesting way of getting your cardio workout. Husband was often tired, but legs were suspiciously noodly. Plot twist, the private investigator was the bike he rode all along. Gene Parmesan. AAA Gene. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.